I'm clicking on the wrong button.
Yeah, you're recording now.
Yeah, I'm recording now. Okay. This is the RV Women Hangout for February 21st. Yes, if you've just joined us, we've been on the air for about 15 minutes, and I forgot where the recording button was to push. And so, now that I actually read it,
Yeah,
I've turned it on. Okay, so
I put a question or a suggestion on there that you should know your amperage amps that you need 30 amp for or 50 amp when you're getting your site.
that's true as well. You have to consider when you're getting an RV site what size your plug is to plug in. And like this RV site that I'm on, they have sites that just have 30 amp, and then they have sites that just have 50 amp. I have a 30 amp, but I have the ability, I have the connectors, the accessories to actually go down to 110 or up to. So it's just a matter of what you have and where you want to plug in. If I have 50 amp available to me, even though my rig is set up for 30 amps, I will, and I have a surge protector and blah, blah, blah. I will plug in to the 50 amp side. And just to give my wiring some rest, I guess, because I'm not really pulling much power at all. When my air conditioner is on, it's probably my biggest power draw. And the rest of the time, it's just a little light. Things like that. That's a really good point, is if in some RV parks, you actually have to say, I am 30 amp or I am 50 amp. And that's actually a really important thing to keep in mind, because if you're a 30 amp and you don't have the accessories to make it a 50 amp and they put you in a 50 amp, then you have no power, or you have to move again. So that's always something to consider. Good one. Can you think of anything else?
Yeah, a water regulator to hold the pressure down so you're not getting surges of water.
Yeah. It's really having to do with water. It's really important to do two things. One is figure out or know what the water pressure is. You can ask the front office, and they will tell you whether or not you need a regulator. I have one and use it all the time. Here in Florida, I have found that it is particularly not beneficial to run God, it just went out of my head. What's it called?
A regulator.
Regulator. Because the water pressure is so low. And so when I put the regulator on it, I basically get, 3/4 of a trickle out of my faucet. And so I took the regulator off. Now, the other thing that you're going to want to consider, and this is just a personal thing, is a filtration system for the water you're pumping into your RV. You can buy a variety of different filtration systems. I basically have, it's a blue tube and, hose on one end and hose on the other end, and you put it in between so that it is charcoal filtering the water that comes into my RV. I do that because I don't know everybody's water, and but I do not use my water to drink or cook or anything like that. But I am using it to bathe in, so I would like to have it filtered.
Okay, you had a question. What is the very basic necessities to set up, like must-need items to set up?
I don't know that I understand the question fully. Do you understand the question?
The basic things you got to have, and your RV should have these, is your plug-in. You have to have
Oh,
hose, to get it. Any jacks that you might need, or little stands to level your unit.
cable TV cord in case they have
Yeah,
cable.
any of that.
Yeah. And the water hose that you choose is basically up to you. Now, when we were all kids, of green hoses all the time, and we're all still here. But they recommend, they being the RV gods, recommend the white hose. Everybody kind of has them, and that is supposed to not have the, what are they called, plastic pieces that go into your body and cause you all kinds of problems.
Right. It's usually a white hose.
White hoses, and that's what difference is. But if you want to hook up a green hose, go ahead. I carry two hoses with me. One is my drinking hose, of course, and then the other is, those nothing. I have one of those, and that's for rinsing and washing the RV and things like that, because I'm not going to use my water hose to do that. It's good to have a second hose, just as backup, just to rinse stuff off, and it makes it real nice to have.
Right. Somebody said essential items is toilet paper. Yes.
So yeah,
special kind of toilet paper too.
Oh, special kind of toilet paper. In an RV, because your RV is not like your toilet in your bricks and sticks house, when you use toilet paper, it goes down into the tank. And if you use regular toilet paper, it doesn't disintegrate. And so you have to purchase RV toilet paper, or you can purchase the cheapest toilet paper you can find at the dollar store, and that will work too. If you are unsure as to whether or not you have the correct, take a glob of it, you stuff it in a glass, you fill it up with water, and see if it disintegrates. And that's what you want, because you want those little pieces to just go out of your black tank when you're emptying your black tank. If you use regular toilet paper and it doesn't disintegrate, you end up with this pile of mush that will eventually clog your black tank system. And I'm sure you can go on YouTube and see some really disgusting videos about that.
Usually it'll say on the outside, if it says septic approved, septic tank approved, then you can use it.
The other thing that you can also do as an RVer, completely up to you, it is a choice that I made for, I travel alone in my RV, but it is not to put anything down the toilet that doesn't come out of my body. So I choose, I'm turning off my air conditioner. I choose not to put toilet paper down in my RV tank. I just have a basket, lined basket on the side, and just put everything in there and, done. Take that out once a day, and I'm a happy camper. But, you can choose to go that way as well. It just depends on what your gross out, factor is. And mine's it's relatively medium.
Right. RV Granny's got a question for you on the side there.
Where is it? Are you recording? Answer question.
Have you ever had to add a special type connector to use the sewer outlet at the RV park?
No. You
have to have an end. A lot of them have to have an end that fits right over the hole. It can't just be stuck down in?
And it kind of depends. It depends on where you are. And if you are in an RV park, they expect you to have the attachment that fits and kind of half screws into the sewer line. Okay, they expect you to have this. If you don't, I'm sure that they're willing to sell you one. I have been to an RV park where, let's just say, the sewer line was really well used over the years, and it no longer was actually round. It was more like an oval. And so what I did was I just took the end off of my sewer line and stuffed my sewer hose down into that hole and then put a rock on top. Basically, you have to be ready to be flexible. Obviously, if you're boondocking, you are not emptying your tanks on the ground. Okay, that's illegal in, I believe, every state. I haven't been to every state, but the states I've been in, it's atrociously illegal. It is pollution to the nth degree. But I have not. I mean, I have, and they're kind of a piece of cake to deal with gloves on, of course. But you just have to be prepared for whatever the scenario is. But I haven't run into anything. Everything's pretty basic.
On our RV, we have the hose goes down into not the bumper thing that usually they have, but it's in the wall of the motorhome, and it wouldn't fit with that special end on there. So I'm going to have a separate hose that has that end on it in case I have to have it that
way. I have two ends. I have many connectors. I have an extra 8 feet of hose in my sewer storage area and a lot of other things that are down there. The idea being I don't want to get into a scenario where I don't have the ability to handle whatever the situation is.
Right.
And subsequently, I mean, you can do what you want to do. The good thing is you'll only have to learn that lesson once.
Right. That's true.
But let's see, the basic necessities. Did we cover that well enough for setup? You need a hose for your water. You need a sewer hose for your sewer. And that's your white and black. I mean, your white and black tank, your gray and black tank. You need a cable for cable TV if they offer it. And you froze.
Electric and the different pigtails depending on your.
And that's what they're called. They're called pigtails. Make it all different sizes. The other thing, of course, is the antenna for the
right,
for cable TV. A place where you screw it in on the outside of your RV, or like my rig, it is already attached and in the same compartment as my electrical lines. Okay, so I have them both right there. I don't have to really think about it. But if you need to go in a window or something like that, you're going to want to have the extra little, to make your line longer. Maybe the connectors so that you can put two of the cables together. They sell them in sets of like 4. So, that's something to consider as well if you, really enjoy TV. I don't care one way or the other. I do like to watch the news, just so I can laugh and turn it off. But let's see, what else do you need? That's it.
You've been asked that somebody said we all have watched your bravery in handing us. What problems have you had with the setup, which required some assistance?
Thanks for that. What part of setup which required some assistance? Well, the first time I used my awning, I needed assistance. I had no idea how to put it up or take it down. Obviously, you have to learn how to put it up in order to reverse that and put it down. But basically, I just went and asked the camper that was next to me, and he explained to me how it worked. And, ever since then, I was fine. You'll find a lot of ready help right there in your RV park, or, okay, if you're boondocking, not so much. But most RV parks offer or have like handy people, people who work camp, and so they're staying there for free, and they help the RVers out that have problems or questions.
You're
Other
audio
than
only.
what?
You are audio only.
I am?
Yep.
Okay. Well, sorry for that. Let me put my Wi-Fi thing higher and see if that helps. I use a Verizon Wi-Fi hotspot.
You're back.
Am I back?
Yep.
Yeah. And for interneting, and if the RV park that I'm in has it, I use theirs. For things like this or uploading videos or whatever, I have to use my hotspot. And the reason for that is because I have a faster upload speed on my Wi-Fi than generally most RV parks, and of course download speed as well. And the reason for that is, and you'll run into this at some RV parks, where they will say there is no YouTube watching or watching Amazon or anything like that. And it's because basically you can't do it because their system doesn't allow you to. And that's the other thing. When you're pulling into an RV park, if they do have Wi-Fi, ask them, of course, and then they're going to have to give you a passcode, whatever their password is for their system. Some RV parks are really good. They hand you a bunch of stuff, and then you just have to read it when you get, and the instructions are there for getting on their Wi-Fi system. If you don't know how to do it, then
okay. You got a question. Have you done any cold weather RVing that required staying warm?
Well, I was in Ocala. Generally, no. Honestly, I have to think about this for a minute. But when I went to Texas, I want to say that may have been the first time I used my heater in my RV. And when I was in Ocala, seriously, Florida, the sewer line and the water, not the sewer line so much, but the water intake froze. And so I was unable to get that water into the RV. Now, there are lots and lots and lots of ways that you can prepare your water things for cold temperatures. But for me personally, I do not like cold. I'm not a fan. I'm not looking for snow. I'm looking for the coldest. I want 50-degree weather or up. I am not interested in playing in the 40s or definitely not the 30s. But you can look online. Amazon's got a bunch of it. So is Camping World. That's terrific. But you Google. Yeah, Camping World. Never going to get a sponsor out of Camping World. there are all kinds of elements that you can add that keep your hoses warm. Some of them are automatic. They just click on when the temperature gets to a certain point. And I learned a little more about those when I was in Ocala, and I learned it from the RVing neighbor that I had. And he had all that, where the hoses would heat up at a certain temperature and just keep the water coming and going. And, you know, that's all you want. If your line does freeze in an RV, you have a separate water tank with a water pump, and you can just turn that on and use it, which is exactly what I did. If your waste lines freeze up, you can try boiling water and putting it, you know, either in the toilet or down the drain. But, you know, you shouldn't really have your sewer line open all the time.
Right.
Especially tank, the black tank you should keep closed. That's not something that you just open and just let it all go. You don't want to do that. Again, going back to the pile of toilet paper mush that will accumulate along with other things and not get out. It needs that volume of water to get out.
Yeah,
And so,
human waste will turn to cement if you let the water all out.
oh, there you go. And cement's heavy, and you don't want to like pay mileage for that. And it does get to the point where you end up having to
Right.
replace. That's
Yeah.
how bad it can get.
Right.
So, and when I, professional.
G. Lizzie wants to know if you're still finagling. I can tell you right now, yes, she still bargains and finagles. I can tell you that.
If you don't ask, they won't give it to you. Okay. And what she's referring to is we went to a flea market the other day, and we both bought the same stuff. Basically, we bought crossbows and arrows, and the arrows, though they were marked at $15, he said verbally that he would sell them to us for 10, and I just looked at him and I said, and by that you mean 7, right? And so he sold it to us at 7 for arrows. You know, if you don't ask, I bought a little, you know, what are they called, fanny pack?
Yeah.
And metal detecting, and you know, she wanted $6 or $7, and I said, you know, I was thinking 5, and then just stop talking. You know, just offer them something and then stop talking. And at a flea market like that, though, you're so capable of finding it around the corner. You know, if it's not, if they don't meet your price, then go around the corner, because you know they're going to have it there. But it doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't matter where I am or where I'm going. If I'm at an RV park, I'll say, you know, oh, you're going to charge me $50 a night. I was thinking 40, and just wait for them to say something. Most of the time, they're going to say something to the effect of, I don't have the power to do that. I'm just a work camper. So, but if you don't ask, you're not going to get it.
Right.
So, yeah, I do it on most everything except at Walmart. And that's only because, you know, actually that's not true. I have taken things up to the Walmart counter, asked for the manager, because there was, say the smallest defect you've ever seen in your life on it, and have asked for a reduced price. And yeah, they gave me one. It was great. You know, especially if it's the last one that they have, fabulous. And, but yeah, I'm a bargain shopper. I like it. It's fun. And it always catches people off guard. And it makes me laugh. But
Tellis wants to know how we resisted those puppies.
Oh, common sense.
I pulled her and she pulled me and we walked away.
Yeah, it was basically common sense. Neither of us
really, I mean, oh my God, they were so adorable. It was, but every time I see a puppy, I think, oh, it's so adorable. I want it. But then, you have to go to the, they poop, they eat, they poop, they pee. And, none of that I want in my RV. And besides that, I have never gotten a dog that didn't come out of a rescue or a shelter. And so I'm not really interested in participating in, an area that I'm just not comfortable. There are too many dogs and cats and whatnot that just don't have any homes. And
Now wait a minute. It was in a flea market. You would be rescuing it.
froze. You froze. I didn't hear what you said. It was in a
I said, just wait a minute. It was in a flea market, and you would be rescuing it.
I know that's kind of true, but you could tell that this was her business. This was, and I don't want to say the word puppy mill, and I hope that's not the case, but she seemed to have a puppy mill kind of thing going. But breeders have to sell their animals someplace, and I don't begrudge them that at all. I think that that's a good idea, and there are people that are. I mean, I think the least expensive dog there was $600. And the most expensive was $1,500. I think it was $1,500. And so it's a lot of money to take to a flea market.
That lady has been there for years, because every time I go, she's there.
Yeah. Then, I mean, with puppies, at least, they haven't been around very long. What were those puppies, like 10 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks or something? And so, they haven't been abused or anything like that. Obviously, they were cute, adorable, puppies. And, they looked relatively healthy. But when you're buying from a place like that, get a guarantee for whatever good that's going to do you. And reputable vendors for animal a guarantee. And since I put the puppy pictures up, I have gotten comments regarding that. And for those of you who don't know this, Nana's Joy and I are on YouTube. And I explain this every week, and I always forget to do it at the top of the show. But we're on YouTube. We make videos. I do them every day. She does them whenever.
I'm just getting back into it. So,
and it takes a lot of time to actually get these videos together. You got to take them, then you got to sit down with them and edit them and things like that. So there's actually some time that's involved, and not all of us have that kind of time. But we're over on YouTube, and as under the names that you see here, Nana's Joy and RV Lady. And if you want to learn more about us or see past RV Women Hangouts, you're more than welcome to go there. Now let's get back on topic, now that we talked about puppies and crossbows.
They're asking questions about Frances. Frances, do you talk, and are you on YouTube so far? So slip on in here.
Yeah, I lived in a camper. I just wrote it down, a 38-foot FTB. I forget the manufacturer's name. It was 5 years ago I moved out of it. But I've gone through winter 4 or 5 times. The snow. I had skirting all the way around my camper, and I purchased it. It was delivered, set up, and then when I sold it, it was taken away. So I never really moved it. Anyways, I've lived through loss of gas heater in the wintertime. I've lived through frozen black water tank that had to be changed out in the wintertime. You name it, what could possibly go wrong. Your water heater dies. I used to just boil water in a tea kettle, and that's how I took a shower.
Oh.
It wasn't really a shower, but I mean, you had
Oh,
some cold water to the boiling water, and you got warm water. You just wash sponge bath, So
yeah. When I was tent camping, I
you
had
got
one
to
of
do what you got to
those.
do.
Yeah, I had one of those solar bags. You leave it out in the sun and it heats up, and that's
Yep.
how I would take a shower out there when I was tent camping.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a real blast. But I lived on a lake, so you had the view of the lake. I was right near the beach, and you could see across the lake a whole mile, and that was the east. You could see the sun come up in the morning on the other side of the lake. So it was nice.
Yeah, and Vanna Mae, yeah, the answer is yes. All you have to do is click on Open Seat, and then you can join us. While you were talking, Francis, I was reading the side chat, and somebody wants to come in, and 2 people calling in. Well, how do you do that? Oh, Galita. Okay.
How many people can you put on here at a time?
Only 4. Wait a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, I'm willing to drop out if anybody else wants to come on.
Well, we got Vanna Mae LV coming on, possibly.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
So you
We
have
got a
questions?
newbie.
Say that again.
Have questions?
Yeah, I do. So, I've decided to do the RV lifestyle full time, and I've been looking into it. I decided that I want to get a trailer. I'm looking at fiberglass trailers in particular, because I would like to have like my car separate from my RV or from my home. I do have some questions. Do any of you ladies live in a trailer?
No, I have
No.
before. I not lived, but I have had a trailer
did.
before.
Yeah. You haven't?
No.
I was interested in looking in RVs as well when I was first thinking about doing this. But the only thing is, my biggest worry is like, if my RV breaks down, then I don't have a home, and I travel a lot, and I'm expecting to travel a lot with my RV or with my trailer.
Yeah.
Are you
So,
are you
yeah.
looking for a small one? The what do they call them? Casitas or whatever, the little small fiberglass one? How big are you thinking?
Yeah, I was thinking a 16 foot
Okay.
fiberglass trailer, like a Scamp or a Casita. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a bathroom, a wet shower, and yeah, with a kitchen
There
and
is.
all that.
There is. Have you seen the girl that has one of those that travels around? She's on YouTube.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. Do you
She's
know
a
her
single-
name?
She's a single gal, and she travels around in one of those and does work camping and stuff. And
Oh.
she loves it.
And let me ask you a couple of questions. Are you going to be traveling with your trailer?
Yes.
Okay.
I travel a lot right now.
Okay.
So.
Are you going to use the car that you're driving now to pull it?
No, I can't. It's a Toyota Corolla. It's
you
on
can't.
its last leg. Yeah, I can't do that.
Okay. I understand you can flat tow those, though. I understand the Toyota Corollas you can flat tow or pour down tow.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I thought that was interesting. The other question that I have is, how much experience do you have with a trailer? Any?
No experience at all. But I do have experience driving like in rugged places, like out in nature and stuff, because I do that a lot. That's what's motivating me to do this, is I like to be out in nature. I would really like to boondocks. And I also travel a lot because I live in LA. I travel to Vegas a lot. So I go back and forth all the time. And the only thing is, like, I like an RV would be very convenient because then I don't have to buy another car or like trade in
Right.
my car and all that. But then it's the whole like, okay, then I'm gonna have to tow a car behind, which I think you do that, RV Lay, don't you?
Yes, I
Yeah.
tow a small Suzuki. Um, I want to say that I paid under $2,000 for it.
Oh, really?
And then I have a 26-foot Class A RV. And the thing that's nice, I mean, and it's just me. I'm not traveling with anybody else, or it's just me. The 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 thing that you're going to want to remember, especially if you're doing LA to Las Vegas, is air conditioning.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going out there in the summertime. Or do you go out there for work, or do you just go out there because you like to gamble?
No, I actually don't gamble at all, and
Okay.
I don't really drink. There's actually an art scene in Vegas that I'm involved in. They're going through a renaissance right now. I'm an artist, so
Okay.
yeah, that's where my scene is. My friends are there, so I go there often. Yeah, the whole like AC thing is definitely something that I would have to like put in my art or in my trailer or my RV. Definitely, I'd probably have to do that separate. Like, I don't mind getting a fixer upper, like a used trailer, and then fixing it up the way that I want. I know that with fiberglass trailers, though, that it does hold its value
Right.
more than an RV, and that was another thing that I was thinking too.
Well, you're not going to want to think of resale value when you are choosing what you're going to live in. And the reason for that is because they all depreciate faster than you can possibly imagine. The other thing in getting an older RV, I mean, an older trailer, is that depending on how much older, you're going to want to be real careful because there are rust issues and floorboard issues and, I mean, just foundational issues with a trailer.
Always.
Additionally, they are light, and in high wind, like you'll run into in the Mojave and in Las Vegas, you're going to be afraid that your little casita or whatever is going to lift and take off to Oz. And so you're
Now
really,
the thing you can do with that, you have anti-sway bars. You want to make sure if you get those little trailers, that you get a hitch that has anti-sway bars.
yeah.
And
Because
that'll keep the control of that a little bit.
yeah. Basically, what happens with pulling a trailer, and you have to be pretty conscientious about this, is you can, I don't know, come out of a hill as you're like going to Vegas, and you come out of the hills and then you hit the flat. Well, when you come out of those hills, the wind can hit your trailer and send it doing this behind you.
Yeah, flying around.
Yeah. If you have anti-sway, it doesn't feel good, but and it's going to scare you, but it's not going to take your trailer away. And I've actually been in a car where a trailer was going away, and it was,
whoa, really?
Yeah, it was really, really, I was a kid and it was really scary, and I thought it was really exciting, and I thought it was but I didn't realize, and my grandfather was driving, and I had every faith in him, so I just really didn't care. But your weight distribution is going to have to be essential in a trailer. It's essential in an RV too, but more so in a trailer.
A trailer, yeah.
Because you only have the one axle.
Now, can I ask you a question? Are you going to boondock or stay in Walmarts or any of that kind of stuff?
So what I was thinking is, because I travel not only to the West Coast, but all my family's on the East Coast too, so I would like to travel there as well. I'm sorry. I just had a brain fart.
That's okay. It happens to us all the time.
I know. I'm like really excited to talk to you guys because like I don't have a lot of people that I can talk to about this, you know,
Right.
like that understand, that have a lot of experience.
Right.
What was your question again? I'm sorry.
Are you boondocking? Are you going to boondock, or you're just staying in RV parks?
Okay. So what I was thinking actually is going on Craigslist and asking people if I could like put my my trailer in like a backyard or in a garage. That way I have like like spots that I can go to and do that, because you don't think so?
Be very
No.
careful what you do.
Yeah.
You
As a
put it
single
in their
woman,
backyard and they can lock you out and say, that's our trailer.
right?
Well, I was thinking of it like I do now, where I rent like right now I'm renting in somebody's home, you know?
Right.
So I was thinking of renting somebody's, you know, like if they have a garage or a space, you know, I could do that. I have friends too that I can stay at and like stay in their neighborhood, and I know it's okay.
But
And then if I need to,
when you're going from here to there, are you going to only stay in campgrounds, or are you going to have to stop in Walmarts and that kind of thing?
I would rather do campgrounds, but if I need to, I'll go to a Walmart.
Okay.
I think with a trailer, it's a little more like scary to be like to have my trailer like parked at a Walmart in a public place, because I'm like leaving my car and then being in my trailer. It's not like an RV where it's all in one, you know?
Right.
I've been observing a lot around LA how people do it, and a lot of people out here, it's an RV. I don't see any trailers, but I do see trailers in people's like neighborhoods and in their like garages or in their yards, you know.
Right.
So
well, the reason I say no, or be very, very cautious, because there's a lot of unscrupulous people out there, and for a young woman, we've had terrible things happen to people that you just don't know them. You don't know.
No.
And, you know, it's hard to trust, especially on Craigslist. There's been some ghastly things that have happened.
Craigslist killer.
As an old fart talking to a young girl, I would tell you to be very cautious about that.
Thank you. Yeah, I am. I'm trying to be as cautious as possible. I've been living on my own for the past like 5 years, in California on my own. But I know this is like being in a, like not having like a home, but being in like a mobile home is completely different than being like in a house, you know?
Right.
So I'm cautious, but my gut feeling is this is what I need to do for like myself. And
I know a lot of young people can handle all the ins and outs of a trailer and things, but trailers don't usually have generators, that kind of thing. And so if you're outside of RV park, it's a little harder, because you can wear down your battery real quick, and it's, you know, it's tough.
No air conditioning.
No air conditioning, because there's not enough power to do it.
Right.
That's why we recommend, if you got a small RV, it has a generator, usually has those things in it. Then tow your car. You're safer, especially if you have to pull into a Walmart or something. You do not have to get out of your car or your motorhome. And you can generally set right up right there. You're safe. Nobody can get to you.
That's true.
And oftentimes the art shows that you may be going to suggest or have space for RVers to park. And, or they suggest places for RVers.
That's true. That's true.
The other thing about having two vehicles that both have motors, is if one breaks down, you've got the other. And so you can get to your destination. And that's what I always think about with my Suzuki and I've already been through this, where my RV broke down. I had a Class C, and it broke down. And I just unhooked the Suzuki and drove to find a transmission place. it wasn't the end of the world for me. It was just, oh, well, let me go and deal with this now. If you are pulling a trailer with a car and your car breaks down, you don't have the trailer or the car.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of mechanics, not the top ones or whatever, but I mean, they're good mechanics, but sometimes they will, while they're working on your vehicle, let you park your RV, not your camper, but your RV in their lot while they're doing whatever work it is that they have to do on it. The other thing to consider is is it possible for you to park your RV and like get on a bicycle and ride to wherever it is that you're going, or do you have to take folios and things like that with you?
In Vegas, it's more possible, but in LA, I need a car. It's just, that's just how it is out here. Yeah. But it would be like, I wouldn't have to worry about buying another car if I got an RV. I can just get the RV. It does make sense. I love the look of a trailer though. I actually just went to a trailer dealership that had the trailers that I wanted, and I was like, oh, I was really excited to just be in one.
Yeah.
And but I haven't looked at RVs yet, like been in one. I've traveled in one before, but like not to like live in full time.
Yeah.
Right. Now, did you ladies buy your RVs new or used?
Used. Most people out there are buying used RVs. And it has to do with the depreciation. Once you roll it out, it's worth half of what you paid for it.
Yeah.
Okay, and it doesn't matter if it's a trailer or an RV or an automobile. It just doesn't matter.
So if you look at them, RV Lady can explain this to you too, but it looks real nice on the top, but you need to get underneath and you need to look to see if there's lots of rust or things don't look right to you or whatever, because underneath and in the engine area, lift it up and take a look. Even though you don't know anything, you might still see something that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
I remember, RV Lady, one of the chats that you had, you were talking about that, how there was a guy that was trying to sell you an RV for like $7,000 or something, and you looked underneath the truck and you found all that rust. Yeah. It
was basically rusting from the ground up. And it is crazy. The other thing that you have to deal with a trailer or an RV is humidity. Now, of course, when you're in Vegas, it's not going to matter. When you're in LA, it will matter, because there are days where humidity is high, and you have to be able to keep the inside of your vehicle, whatever it may be, dry, or it will mold.
Yeah.
It's serious.
Water damage.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so much water damage, it's just you're taking a shower. So now there's moisture in the air, and you have to have a way to get that moisture out before you lock that thing up and walk away. Yeah,
what do you do?
Might want to consider a Class B RV. That's the one that kind of looks like a van.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of them have showers and whatnot. Are you a tall person?
No, I'm small.
Okay. That you might want to look at those and see if that would be doable.
The only thing, sorry.
No.
The only thing with that is I'm not traveling alone. I have my cat. So space-wise, I've been looking. I've thought of Class B, but then I'm like, okay, well, with the cat, it's gonna get a little cramped. I would like a little bit more space for me and her. Yeah, that's the only thing. And like the one thing that I like about trailers is like you can take like a lot of parts of it out and like make it the way that you want. That's another thing. Is like with an RV though, I can see me doing that with her because I can still like renovate it and make it the way that me and her are okay, you know?
Yeah.
That's another reason we buy used, is then you don't feel guilty about tearing something apart.
Yeah,
and you're gonna want to look at this as your starter trailer or your starter RV. You know, you don't want to buy anything that when you back it in and dent the crap out of it, you're not standing there in a hysterical coma for a day. You really have to consider that. And though it'll make you mad, you know, you have to be able to roll with that, because when you back up, you're going to hit stuff, especially if you're alone and it's at night. You're going to be backing the trailer up in the dark, and if nobody's there to help you, you could hit stuff. You know, somebody mentioned over here, and now I don't know where it went, but have you considered buying a van to tow your trailer?
No, I haven't thought of that.
Yeah, somebody mentioned it over here. I don't know who, but that might be a better way for you to go. Now, it's not going to be as economical as your Toyota, but it might be something worth looking into, because if your van breaks down, you can live in it.
Yeah.
Or at least sleep in it. And then, you know, take a taxi back to your trailer while it's being repaired or whatever. It gives you the two separate ways to go. I
have a friend right now that's living in their van, and he's like staying at one of our friends' house and like using their shower and stuff, and he loves it. He's like totally like renovating it and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The trailer would be nice for my cat, and then the van could be for me. Well, she's got her thing.
That's an expensive, you know, cat home.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. And the other thing is, if you start with a van and then, you know, you see how that works out for you, then you can always add the trailer.
Yeah.
Eventually. I don't know what your budget is for this. And of course, that's going to make a lot of your decision, because it is expensive to do this. The setup for this is expensive. Once you've, you know, got everything and paid for everything, and, you know, then it's, you know, food and gas.
Yeah.
But up until then, you know, you're buying things like fire extinguishers. And I mean, it's the little things. I'm not talking about the big things. The big things are expensive too, but it's the little things that you need for your own safety. And, you know, like I want to say fire extinguishers are $20 a piece, something like that.
Yeah.
Depending on, I have 3 of them, 2 in my RV and 1 in my Suzuki. And what are the other things? Obviously, dishes and things like that, you can just use whatever it is that you have, if you have them. And if not, then you've got to buy dishes. And unless you're going to do paper plates, which I feel that paper plates make you feel like you are temporary instead of permanent. And so I use real dishes, real glasses, real silverware. And this is my home. This is where I live. At my home, in a bricks and sticks home, I wouldn't use paper plates. I would never use plastic anything. And, you know, those are things to consider. The other things to consider is laundry. You have to go to a laundromat. That's going to cost you $10 to $15, and you have to do that every week or week and a half, and or whatever, you know, your plan is. You know, those things are worth considering, no matter what decision you're making. If you are, you know, going to be a full-time RVer, you're going to want to learn, and then,
that's what I'm doing now. Learning as much as I can.
Yeah.
The one thing I have been doing for myself is I've been cutting down on a lot of things and like getting rid of a lot of my clothes. Like I'm like going towards a more minimalist lifestyle, so I don't have a lot of things to bring.
Right.
Because I don't want it to be cluttered. I can clutter things, and I don't want to do that in this new lifestyle. So my whole mentality is changing because of this. Because I know it's not going to be the same.
No, you're not going to be able to have as many clothes. You're not going to be able to have as many shoes. You have to consider that all of those things are A, weight, and B, they take up space. So, you have to decide for yourself what priorities you're giving everything. And that's, and I don't know how mechanical you are, but anytime you're picking out something used, it is a scary venture. There are a lot of mechanical tricks that people can do to make a bad engine sound good, make a bad transmission work, and then you don't know until after you have acquired the vehicle.
If you get a lemon or not. I'm learning now, like I have a car, so I know like with my car like what to do. I have AAA too, which is very helpful. But I know that there's a lot of things that I don't know when it comes to RV life because I've never done it before. I've traveled in RV before, but I'm just glad that I'm realizing this now, and I want to do this now in my life so that, I can learn now. And I mean, you can learn at any age, but like, if this is something I decide I want to do for the rest of my life, like, I'm glad I'm like doing it now. Like, I'm saving up right now. I would like to get an RV or a trailer, or whatever I decide, like, at tops, like 11 grand.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if I decide to get a trailer, get a used car, which is another thing, which is like, but I do have friends that are mechanically like, they know things. So I think I'm going to be like more like using their advice and helping me learn how to do it on my own.
Yeah.
But I know I'm going to need a lot of help to start out,
Yeah. Just so you know, at dealerships, RV dealerships, I think the oldest vehicle that they'll finance is 10 years old, might be 15. But if you're thinking about doing the financing thing, if you're going to pay cash, it gives you more room to barter, my favorite word, and ask for lower pricing. Okay, at an RV sales lot, I would do the same thing. Whatever they're asking, I'd say, I'll give you half.
Yeah. I'm learning how to barter. I need to be more. I'm so nice. Like I need to be more like like.
No, you can be nice. Just be firm. Know what your limitations are, and that's really important too. If you have a trailer that you cannot lift up and put on or hook up to the back of your car, you're in trouble because a lot of times you're going to have to do that yourself. And it's like my Suzuki. I hook up my Suzuki myself. I have people offering to help me all the time. And no, that's okay.
No, you should do it yourself. Yeah. It's your home.
Yeah.
Do it yourself.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about things.
I want to do it myself because, okay, I'm more efficient at it. And then secondarily, in the event that anything happens, damage-wise, I want to make sure I'm damaging it. Instead of, just some schmo that's walking by. And, but there are a lot of things at this threshold that you're really going to want to consider. You may spend your $11,000 or whatever amount it is and find out that you really hate this life.
That's true.
That it's just too hard, that it's just too impermanent. Is that a word? There's no stability. You may not be able to grasp the stability factor. And
I'm not a very stable person by nature. I'm always moving every year. So I think it's just who I am.
Yeah.
I know that it's something that it's like, if it's not for me, then I'll like move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be nice to like my first RV or whatever to be a lot less than spending, like, that's on the high end, but like,
and plus you still have to have money to outfit it, and also to be able to put gas in the tank. So well,
what I'm sorry,
you might
I feel like
you might want to get a bicycle and a van and start out that way, or something of that ilk, or a little Class C and a bicycle or a motor scooter. You're young, you're strong. I started originally I wanted a Class C, and then I was going to put a scooter, a motor scooter on the back of it for transportation to wherever I wanted to go. I quickly learned that I was not going to be strong enough as time went by to be able to muscle that scooter onto the ramp so that I could push a button and have it go up, or bring it down, or deal with any problems that it had. I was just not prepared for that. And so there's something about those little Chinese engines that just, I don't get. But, if you buy like an electric scooter or something like that, you can get around. Unless you're carrying art stuff with you, then you have to have a car.
I need a car for the type of work that I do. I travel all over the place. So, that's the one thing, is like a car is definitely needed. I do have a bicycle too, so I can definitely take that with me. It's just such a different lifestyle that I really desire, and that not even desire, like I know that this is something that's right for me at this moment in my life. I travel a lot. Let me back up. What actually inspired me to do this was I was actually visiting Vegas for a while, and I felt bad that I was leaving my cat behind, and I couldn't stay in Vegas as long as I wanted to. And I was just like, I wish that I could have have my home with me right now, so that, I could stay there as long as I want. And it just it made sense to me. At first I was looking into tiny homes, but you can't move that around. So it just, you can, but it's I wouldn't want to build a whole house and then just have it I'd be afraid to move it.
Well, and a lot of our RV parks will not let those vehicles in. And you have to consider that. The other thing with a van is you would actually have to put a window AC in there, and have it plugged in for your cat before you leave it for the day, especially if you're in Vegas, because the only air conditioner in a van is the front when the engine's running. That's it. So, that's another thing. Yeah, she should watch that. Just Incredible is a van guy, and he's over on YouTube. He's a little sexist and can be obnoxious, but just listen to him when it comes to
what he's saying.
The vans, his van. That's the important thing. But let's see, what else? I think, that's right. Just Incredible just got a Class C. Thank you, whoever just said that. Just Incredible is up in either Canada or on the border or just on the side or something like that. And he had lived in a van. I mean, he had a fireplace in it and everything. And he just moved into, probably 6 months ago, moved into a Class C. Now, Class Cs are not made as well as Class As. However, I've owned a Class C. I really liked it.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable. I found it very roomy for one person, and it has air conditioning. You plug it in and turn it on, and it air conditions for your cat. You would end up having to ride your bicycle or whatever, but when it's 97 degrees in Las Vegas, and that's when you get up in the morning, you're not going to want to ride your bike very far. So, you know, these are things that you have to consider and have to look at. And especially if you want to save money on this initial venture, you're going to have to hunt hard and long. Are you on a timeline of any kind?
I would like to at least have my money saved up by the end of the year. That's my goal. And just learn as much as I can. I'm trying to find ways to make more money than how I am now. But I know that once I have the RV, like I actually own property and I'm renting. I have a renter, so whatever money I have from that, I can just use towards my RV later on. So I do have a stable amount of income that way, and then what I do for work is also really well too where I live. So I financially I'll be okay after I get it, but it's just like, you know, with expenses, and I travel too, which it also costs a lot. It's just it's just like saving and waiting for that when I'm okay, like ready to shop, you know. I am following a couple of Facebook like RV and trailer for sale like ads, you know what I mean? And seeing what people are selling and seeing what people are doing to renovate their RVs or whatever. And it's like so tempting. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait. It's like to buy it, but
They're like dollhouses.
you know, it's good
They're
to
like
know what the
those
price range is. And like, I found some
They're like the
trailers
little
for
houses
like
you used to
$5,000.
play in when you were a kid.
Yeah,
And but
they are.
if you're going to go in this direction with your life, you're going to really have to make the correct decision for you and what you want to do. So, you know, we can sit and tell you all day long what to get, but it's really going to be up to you and where you're going to be and how you're going to RV and things like that.
Well, you ladies definitely like made me reconsider the RV.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think of these things before. So it's like that, like it makes more sense now. So now I'm rethinking about it. Like maybe like getting an RV would be cheaper.
Yes. It's just like a vehicle.
I do have
like
a question about RVs though. You have to register.
It has to be registered. If you're over in Vegas and you can buy one over in Vegas or Arizona, you know, save some money and buy it there. California is ridiculous with its fees and taxes. And so, you know, if you can, it might behoove you to buy it in another state, which you can do. Wait a minute, let me think about this. You
can you do it with the California license plate?
If you have an address in that state that you can use for your renewals. So I guess that would be the way it is. If not, you just drive it back to your home state and they charge you. But me? Nana's Joy or me?
Joy, I don't think we can hear you.
Nana's Joy? Oh, Nana's Joy, we can't hear you.
Yeah.
No.
Mic is working.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes. Can hear you now.
Voila.
Okay. Yeah. I saw your lips moving, and then I thought, well, maybe she's just gonna
I was miming.
I haven't got around to it yet.
And what I would suggest that you do before you make any big decisions is get on YouTube. People on the side chat here have given names of people that are in casitas, single women, but you can search full-timers in casitas or full-timers in very small trailers and full-timers in very small RVs. And excuse me, go through them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know, I never do either.
Thank you. I'm not looking at the chat right now,
Every
but
once in a while, I'll glance over and go, "Oh yeah, that's a good
I
idea."
know, because I'm so engaged in what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
there is, since you have, no strict timeline for this, it's really going to be an advantage for you. Now, you also have to understand, in the LA area, LA, Riverside, San Bernardino, Orange County, and of course San Diego County. I'm from San Diego. That's why I know all this. I can just tell you. There are a lot of good deals on RVs. And the one thing that you have to remember, and it's just like buying a car, is don't be in love with it. Be able to make an offer and walk away if they don't take your offer. Don't buy a car because it's a great color. That's always a big mistake. And the same with an RV. When you go look at RVs or vans or whatever, you turn it all on. And not only that, you tell them that you want to be able to hear the generator if it has a generator. You're going to want to turn on a faucet and have water come out to see if the water pump works. You're going to want to turn on the heater and see if it heats. You're going to want to, for both the furnace and the hot water, because those are separate things, you're going to want to turn it all on. And if things don't work, or if it's amazing how quickly they come to the truth. Right. And they start telling you, well, this doesn't work, and that doesn't work, and this doesn't work, and there's a crack there, and it had the roof, and this, that, and the other, or it needs new tires. In a Class A, the tires are far more expensive than they are in a Class C. That's something.
Are Class C
a Class C
wheels
is
the same as a car,
and
or
and a Class C are about the same size tires.
Yeah.
But they're cheaper than Class A tires. Class A tires can run you $600, $800, $1,000 a piece. Yeah. So these are the things that you have to consider as well. Wow. You might want to get a truck with a camper to start out with. I knew a gal that did all of the art shows, and that's what she did it in, a truck and a camper. But she had a brick and mortar house as well. But she was just going out on the art circuit and, just needed someplace to lay down after a day's, pedaling. But I'm assuming that you are physically fit. Yeah. And that you don't have any problem climbing around an RV or whatever it is, or crawling under. And it's important that you're able to do those things, especially when you're considering a purchase. You want to go up and see if, when you walk on the roof, whether or not it goes anywhere, or there are bubbles up there. You're going to want to see that, because that means your roof leaks.
Look up in the ceiling, too. If you look in the ceiling, if there's any discoloration, it'll indicate there was a leak, at least at one time. Yes. And then you want... And go ahead.
I was... oh, sorry. I was actually watching a YouTube video of I guess he was an RV repair guy that was showing when you're looking at an RV, how to check for watermarks and check if there's water damage anywhere. And he went up on the roof and showed that. Right. I'm definitely watching a lot of YouTube videos on buying an RV, and things to look out for, because I don't want to get a lemon. And another question I have is, okay, so when you're looking at buying an RV from a dealer or whatever, how are you supposed to check the sewage? Because I know that there's how are you supposed to check if that's okay? Down. When you have to drain it, say, you know what I'm talking about?
I would ask people about the sewage thing, and all of those sewer things have covers, and you can take that cover off easy. and look and see if it's dry, if it's moist. You know, if all else fails, open it, go flush the toilet, and see if the water comes out. It'll just be regular water going on the ground, so it shouldn't be a problem. If their black tank, for example, if either of their tanks have any waste in them, then you're going to want to say something like, let's drive it to someplace and dump those tanks. Yeah, because you're not going to want their stuff anyway.
You can look down in the toilet too. If you open
let's see
the
what's
toilet
going
hole,
on.
look down in. If you see a mound, they may say they've dumped it. If you see a mound,
and take a flashlight with you, one with a long handle, and you're going to want to look under every. You're going to want to look at everything, and you're going to want to crawl under it. And if you're not mechanical, if you don't know what a good engine sounds like, then take somebody who does. If you don't know how to test a transmission on a test drive, then take somebody who does. And this goes for any vehicle that you're buying used. Let's see, what else? Oh, we have one more minute left. And our show is over. So let me wrap this up. I thank you very much for all of your questions and all of your comments. And of course, we're going to be here next week for the RV Women Hangout. And same times, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. I will attempt to put the address on my YouTube channel for easy access. And again, you can find us during the rest of the week over on our YouTube channels. I'm RV Lady, and Nana's Joy is easy to find. And we look forward to hearing from you. Any questions, or if you want to suggest a topic, or if you would like to be a guest on the show, you're more than welcome. Usually Nana's Joy and I show up. Sometimes Nana's Joy doesn't show up, but most of the time we both show up, and between us we have a vast amount of experience. And even though I've only been RVing full-time for even less than a year, my anniversary is, I think, the 11th of April, I have been a tent camper for all my life. And just as I got older, I thought, maybe I should get off the ground. But, we're open to any discussion, any topic on RVing. And again, some of you may or may not know this. We only permit women to be on the panel, and men, we encourage you to be in the comment section and help us out if we need it. And I guess that's about it. So I will post this chat or this hangout over on my YouTube channel, and you'll be able to look at it in its entirety in the event that you missed something or wanted to review something. So it'll be over on my YouTube channel.
Family, come back and visit us. We love having people.
Oh yeah. Currently, I'm in Florida, in the Fort Myers area.
Where are you located?
And Nana's Joy is also in Florida.
In the Inglewood area.
In the Inglewood area.
I'm from Michigan. I winter in Florida. RV Ladies from California.
Yeah. I'm from North County, San Diego, in California. And
nice.
And though this is my home, but I suppose if I had a port, that would be my port. So my port home is there, but I live full-time in the RV. And I'll be heading up the Eastern Seaboard come the beginning of April. I'm going to switch over to the Atlantic side and go up the Atlantic Seaboard and then cut across, and I'll be in Ohio. And then I'm going to be heading back to California. And I'm actually allowed to say this out loud now because my daughter is going to have a baby in September. I'm so excited, even though I don't really want this little monster to grow up and call me grandma.
Oh, congrats.
I gotta work on that. But anyway, we'll see you all. Yeah, really. Yeah, my grandma's RV lady.
RV lady.
So we hope to see you all next week, same time, over on here on Blab. And the reason we do it on Blab is because we were doing it over on YouTube for so long, and then they changed everything and made it harder, and it kept dropping us. And we found Blab and said, "Yippee-yi-okay, let's do it." So thanks everybody. Thanks for participating. Thanks for dropping by, and we'll see you next week.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thanks, Francis, for coming. Thanks, Vanna. Bye.
Bye.